That was Tumbling Dice by the overrated Rolling Stones, as Eric mentioned.
Yes.
But I like that song. It's
okay.
It's a nice cut from Exile on Main Street. So, again, if you're tuning in, I've got Eric the Novak.
That's not my middle name.
Eric Novak in the studio. And he's going to perform an awesome set with Derek McAnally and Ethan Berg. So I wish they could say hi, but later on the show they'll introduce themselves. Yeah. But yeah, Eric, I wanted you on the show mostly because you're like one of the cooler guys on campus.
Oh, stop it.
Probably in the facial hair region.
That's
too.
like the only.
So, actually, I didn't shave for 3 days in honor of the show.
That's beautiful.
But I brought you here also not to just perform, but to let all of IWU and the world and the universe about your favorite 5 songs.
I'd love to. So,
you know what? Just go when you're ready.
Just list my 5 favorites?
Yeah. Is there any
like
order?
One by one? Mm-hmm. No, there's never an order.
I mean, just name them and explain like what they mean to you.
Okay. Well, number 1 is definitely I Put a Spell on You by Screamin' Jay Hawkins. It's from like 1955. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But basically it's the greatest song ever because it's so simple and it's so just destructive. Like when you hear it, you're just like because like Screamin' Jay, it starts with like these drunken saxophone players going like pum 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 pum, and then Screamin' Jay comes in and he's also just totally trashed, and so he's just singing this just intensely like primal kind of a vocal part. He's singing about.
I feel like the music in that song isn't like it's like almost like a weird like contrast. Like the music's like sort of like simple.
Yeah,
and not as like
it's an insanely simple song.
Not even that raw, but
the sax solo, sax solo is crazy.
Right. I guess, yeah.
I mean, because everyone for that session got completely trashed, and like that's how it happened. The way, I was there. I was there. So yeah, he's just singing. He's just making all these just insane noises, and this song couldn't be played on the radio at the time because of all these like demonic noises he was making. Everyone was like, "Who is this man? Is he even a person?"
Or maybe they're like, "Is my record broken?"
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Because
like at the end of the song, he like starts honking like a pig, like like that kind of thing. So it's just such a sick song, and anyone who covers it just doesn't do it justice, because Screamin' Jay's version is the version, and you just can't win.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that song is the greatest song ever. And then I'd say number 2 is like "The End" by The Doors.
That's
probably because. Well, 1, it's like the most theatrical rock song that's ever been put down to tape. And it goes through so many moods. It starts off like mysterious. Everyone's like, whoa, where's this song even going?
Especially that like monologue.
Yeah, especially the monologue. But it starts out with like this nice sing-songy melody about the end, which is like, well, why is he singing about the end? That's pretty screwed up. So it goes like that for a while. And then it like falls apart, and it's just like Robbie Krieger and Ray Manzarek, they're like, well, we're just gonna screw this up. So they're playing all these crazy runs on the guitar and the organ, and it's just creating all this chaos. And then it just dissipates, and it starts being calm again with John Densmore providing like the subtle like textural rhythmic accompaniment the whole time. And then it goes into the insane monologue section, which is just crazy, especially in the 60s when it was first released. Like no one saw it coming, because Jim Morrison just out of nowhere for one of the performances, he just said he was gonna have sex with his mother, and everyone was like, whoa, back up, Jim Morrison. So I mean, it's just so edgy and just so just nasty, so and it goes through so many different moods, and there's so many different like climaxes and resolutions, and it's just a perfect song. It just defines everything. It is the end.
Okay.
So then like the 3rd song would definitely have to be Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, but not the short version, because while the short version is crazy, the long version's even crazier. Because basically what it was is Jimi Hendrix. It's a live take.
Mm-hmm.
Jimi Hendrix and Mitch Mitchell and Noel Redding, and then the organist who I can't remember.
He's from Traffic.
Steve Winwood, I think it was.
I think he was from.
I might be
Traffic.
wrong, but I am kind of sure that it was Steve Winwood. But they basically took like this basic blues song that Hendrix had written, and they just shot it like straight into space, and it's just insane. It's just insane.
It is.
Hendrix and like the interplay between Hendrix and Winwood on the organ, if it is Winwood, don't quote me on that, by the way, is just crazy because Hendrix will be launching a fiery solo, and then Winwood would just interject with another fiery solo, and it would just be just fire, just constant fire, just interacting and exploding and just.
And they couldn't play that in the cars either because people's like car radios. Just
exactly. Like it was just no, they just couldn't do it. So
Okay,
I mean,
4.
another crazy song.
It is crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Cool fact, they actually recorded the claps and stuff for that. It wasn't actually live. Well, it was live in the studio.
Well, yeah, it was in the
but,
studio.
Like, they went somewhere to like record claps and stuff.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
Rock
so, like,
history.
Yeah. The 4th song, I'd say it would probably have to be Dachau Blues by Captain Beefheart. Because, once again, emphasis on these 5 songs. They're all chaotic and just out of control. And this song is probably the most out of control, like musically speaking, of the 5, because take everything you know about music, like chord progressions, chords, rhythm, time signatures, all that jazz, and just completely disregard it, just completely. Because this song is just, it starts out with just chaos. It doesn't even wean you into the chaos. It just starts out just like bang, 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 bang. And like then when Captain Beefheart comes in, he comes in with like this really low, vocal melody, and he's singing about a concentration camp from World War II. So you're like, why are you singing about this? Like that's pretty screwed up. So he's singing about how like people are dumb because of the whole Holocaust, and like he hates the Holocaust. So he's singing about how dumb it is and how he thinks there's going to be a World War III because people are continually dumb, and history repeats itself and whatnot. And it's just such an interesting like message to combine with such a chaotic musical accompaniment, because I mean the Holocaust and World War II was pretty chaotic. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm going to say that it probably was chaotic. So, and then there's also this just insane sick bass clarinet solo, which is pretty much like the screams of children,
in
which I love.
In bass clarinet form.
Yeah, it was. It's just absolutely beautiful. You have to hear it. It just when it comes in, it's like, oh my, ugh. And then the song ends with like this really creepy, like field recording of Captain Beefheart talking to this delivery guy, because they recorded the whole album in this house, and this delivery guy like brought over like a pizza or something, and he was talking about, I think he was talking about like killing rats or something. And it's like a really creepy way to end the song, because like the Nazis and whatnot saw the Jews as rats. So
why did the delivery guy talk about rats?
I don't know, not important. But it was just really interesting.
Well, that's only 4 songs.
Yeah, there's still one more.
Okay.
And then the 5th song I'd probably say would have to be Free Your Mind and Your Ass Will Follow by Funkadelic. Because once again, chaos, man. Chaos works perfectly with music. Because music that's so structured, it's just like, why? Because isn't music supposed to be like a demonstration of your emotions and whatnot? And emotions are never structured. I mean, at least my emotions aren't.
You should show off your shirt.
Oh yeah, it's a Funkadelic shirt. Because I love Funkadelic. But basically, this song starts out with like a monologue by George Clinton, who is the lead singer of Funkadelic. And he's just saying this line over and over: "Free your mind, your ass will follow. The kingdom of heaven's within." It's just insanely psychedelic. At the beginning, it's just like, and then these people are like singing over it, and they're just it's like a canon type thing where one person will say it and then another person will say it, and then as they start to get more intense, the rhythm section comes in with like this crazy groove, and then the lead guitarist Eddie Hazel is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna solo now." And if you've never heard Eddie Hazel, you need to not live anymore, because Jimi Hendrix is the guitar god, but Eddie Hazel is the second coming of Jimi Hendrix. they're basically he was just insane. And the song progresses. It's just an insane, just melting pot of psychedelic insanity. And different people are singing different things, and they're just so fiery. And I suppose it's worth mentioning that the whole purpose of the album, which this was on, was to George Clinton was like, "Hey guys, let's create an album. Let's see if we can create an album while only under the influence of LSD." So I mean, there's that whole aesthetic to it, which makes it more interesting because LSD is supposed to like unlock your consciousness and whatever. So there's that, and it's just like intense musical chaos. It's just everywhere.
Well, you know what? I think you know more about music than, or like the stories of these songs than probably anybody